highest courts in our land, and the government is telling women and telling trans kids and trans people, I'm sorry, you don't know your body. We know what's best for your body, but you don't really know. We know what's best and you don't know. I'm really excited. You know, this book was a real labor of love. It's something I've been thinking about as a really important piece of literature that I have felt should be out there in the world, especially in today's age and in the world today, that exploring intuitive intelligence and what the gut tells you and how to harness that, how to really use it, feels to me like such a useful and necessary tool in today's world.
So your first essay in this book is titled "The Body Always Knows First." Why do you feel that it's important to explicitly define intuition?
To me, one of the great explorations of this book and research of the book was really looking at the history of women's oppressed intuition and the ways in which, you know, we know a lot about women who were burned at the stakes for hearing voices, but, you know, all the way up to the advent of modern psychiatry and psychotherapy, you know, terms like hysteria were created to quell the idea of women's internal meter, their ability to hear something and understand something that transcended rational thought, that transcended the voice of the mind, and instead was a connection between the voice of the mind and the voice of the body, so a physical feeling. And I think in an era that we are in right now, you know, we just came out of 2017's Me Too movement, Tarana Burke's Me Too movement, this powerful cultural shifting moment when women and people all over the world who had been experiencing sexual trauma spoke up for the first time, and it was like this large-scale collection of an intuitive voice.
But you know, even as we have a diaper shortage, a formula shortage, a childcare shortage, a teacher shortage, like, what is your intuition telling you about motherhood right now?
What I try not to do is spin out in despair, because there's literally nothing I can singularly do. There's things we can collectively do together. And I know for me it's paramount of importance that I arm my daughter with the kind of self-knowledge to know what they need, how they feel, what's right or wrong. And I think, you know, part of the inspiration of this book for me, of writing it, was thinking about young girls, young boys, but mostly young girls, teenage girls, girls in their 20s, reading this book, reading this sort of step-by-step process of sort of how to think about your intuitive process, your intuitive intelligence, how to access it. And if we had all had that, you know, some kind of a manual, some kind of roadmap that showed us how to do it. So if we can bring into the fold this next generation of kids who are more connected to their gut and not afraid to use it, and won't be othered from it, and won't be told to ignore it or that it's wrong, and will push against that, I think that we will become a vastly different society and culture.